구원해준 나의 천사 나의 세상 난 이상 새 고향이 널 만나러
The new cork bulletin board had been proudly displayed in the school hallway, at first alive with announcements, notices of competitions, and reminders that made students pause as they passed by. But as days slipped into weeks, its importance faded. What once brimmed with excitement became invisible to wandering eyes, ignored like wallpaper on familiar walls. The board stood quietly, gathering dust, waiting for words that no one cared to read. And in that forgotten silence, Jimin found his secret place. One afternoon, with a mischievous flicker in his eyes, he pressed a small sticker into the corner. In uneven handwriting, it read, "Relatives are home and I don't want to go early," followed by a tiny, playful moon sign. He knew no one noticed, and perhaps that was the charm. For Jimin, this ritual had become a quiet game. Each day he would slip a thought onto the board, then return the next day to remove it, as if taking away a fleeting memory. If this note carried a smile, he would linger there, grinning at his own words. But if the day had been heavy, his sigh would echo in the hallway as he tore the paper away, carrying its weight with him. The hallway was almost empty when Ryan wandered toward the bulletin board. Her gaze skimmed the usual notices without thought, the kind of papers her eyes had learned to ignore. And then there it was, a small note tucked in a corner. Her eyes lingered. "Relatives are home and I don't want to go early." The paper read, scrawled with a quiet sign of rebellion. She breathed out a soft giggle, the sound meant only for herself, and shook her head as if amused. She turned to leave, but something in her hesitated. After a long blink, she reached for her notebook, tearing a scrap from its edge. Her pen danced quickly across the paper before she tucked it beneath the first note. "Maybe try skipping straight to your room when you don't want to meet any faces." She had written, her words playful and sly. A secret spark lit her chest as she pinned it down. With another giggle, she walked away. The next morning, Jimin walked toward the bulletin board, his familiar ritual already in motion. He reached for a small sticker ready to tear it away, when his eyes froze at the sight of another slip of paper beneath it. He blinked, curiosity stirring, before leaning closer to read the words. A smile crept across his lips, unbidden and genuine, as if the board itself had surprised him. He turned around quickly, half expecting it to be a prank, but the hallway was nearly empty. A quiet laugh escaped him, soft enough to vanish in the air. Picking up his pen, he scribbled a new line and pinned it to the board. Thankfully, they left before I reached home. It read simple and relieved. But then, with an odd hesitation, he slipped her note free. He folded the scrap gently, tucking it into his bag as though it was something rare, a small treasure only he was meant to carry. His steps away felt strangely lighter. When the break hour came, Wyant returned. Her eyes darted instantly toward the book, searching for her note. It was gone. Instead, another message rested where his had been. She smiled faintly as she read, whispering "oh" to herself. No one paid her any mind, no curious glances stealing her moment. So, with careful fingers, she tore another slip of paper and wrote it with a sly smirk. Glad your house is guest free now. Do I get credit for the advice? The following day, Jimin's steps carried him to the bulletin board earlier than usual. His gaze landed on the corner where their quiet conversation had begun. When he spotted her note, a laugh tugged at his lips, uncontainable and amused. He read it twice, savoring the words as though they were written just for him. Glad your house is guest free now. Do I get credit for the advice? The paper teased. He shook his head, smiling, but his chest warmed. Pulling out a fresh sticker, he pressed it neatly under hers. His handwriting danced with sarcasm. Sure, if peace of mind counts as your invention. He lingered for a moment longer before slipping away, a grin ghosting his face. When Ryan passed by later that afternoon, her heart leapt at the sight of another reply. Her fingers hovered before she leaned closer, her smile widening as she read. She whispered softly, almost like a secret. Peace of mind, huh? A spark of boldness took over. She scribbled quickly. I'll accept royalties in the form of snacks left on my desk, pinning it below. She chuckled at her own wit before stepping away, shoulders light with unspoken laughter. And so their tiny scraps of paper became threads of secret tapestry, conversations stitched in laughter and curiosity. Each day the bulletin board carried their whispers, sharp with wit, soft with humor, and laced with a kind of honesty words rarely hold. One afternoon, Ryan scribbled with quick strokes. May I know your gender? I don't want to be nosy, but I'm a nosy girl. Her handwriting tilted playfully as she tugged into the growing stack of hidden banter. When Jimin returned, his lips curved into a smile at her boldness. He leaned in, pen scratching with slight pride. I'm not nosy like you, but a decent boy. The corners of his mouth quivered as he painted firmly. Next reply made him laugh softly in the empty hallway. A decent boy, huh? You'll see that when you know who I am. She teased. He chuckled to himself before answering with a smirk in ink. Oh yes, Queen Victoria, I should have known better. Days later, her note read, Gosh, I hate math. Why should I have to solve them? Her frustration bled through the paper. Jimin grinned, seizing the chance to tease her. I love math. Do you want me tutoring for free? Her answer came quick, laced with sarcasm yet hiding its truth. Free her, I don't trust free things, but I might trust you one day. The words sparkled with mock defiance, yet beneath them lingered so quiet, unspoken acceptance. You shouldn't trust someone when you don't even know his name. Jimin's note read, his neat script firm and teasing. Wine frowned at the words, then found herself nodding faintly. He was right, and that truth made her smile despite herself. Her pen danced with mischief. Oh yes, you might be a killer or a stalker, or maybe even younger than me. The words clinged with mock suspicion, but her laughter filled the space as she tucked the note beneath his. Jimin read it later, a quiet chuckle slipping free in the empty hall. They had never spoken of age, never let their words drift past this playful wave. For a moment, he considered leaving the mystery untouched. Instead, he wrote, I'm telling you again, I'm just a decent 18-year-old boy. His mug deepened as he pinned it carefully. Meanwhile, when YN discovered the words, her heart tugged. She would soon turn 18 too, but something in her refused to reveal it. One evening, her note appeared softer than usual, almost wary in its honesty. I didn't win this time either. I don't know why I'm even into painting. The words seemed to sigh, as if the paper itself carried her discouragement. Shimon's heart tightened at the confession. He bent close to right beneath her words, his tone gentle yet curious. Can I see yours if that's okay? His pen lingered as though he feared she would say no. The next day, Wyan returned, her fingers trembling faintly as she scribbled. I left it on the backseat of the auditorium. She confessed, her chest fluttering nervously. She pinned the note with a small note before slipping away unseen. When Jimin read her words in the morning, something inside him leapt alive. Without hesitation, he ran to the auditorium, feet echoing against the empty floors. There, on the wall's quiet edge, hung her painting marked with delicate star sign. He stood still, captivated. The painting seemed to hold its own breath, colors plunging like the hush of twilight, shapes carrying both sorrow and longing. He didn't know how long he stared, but he knew the world had grown softer. That afternoon, his reply came longer than ever before. Your painting feels like rain touching earth for the first time. Gentle, necessary, unforgettable. It holds sadness, yet promises hope. Don't ask why you paint. Your art already answers it for you. When Ryan read the note, her fingers trembled. The words sank deep, more intimate than she ever had expected from someone faceless, nameless. A tear touched her lashes before she quickly wiped it away, a smile breaking through her quiet disbelief. Her note was small, almost trembling in its hope. Thank you. Hope I'll see you soon. Ryan bent gently, her heart thudding as if her words had escaped further than she dared. She walked away unaware of tomorrow.